right, let's hit the field.
All rise.
Just wanted to talk, that's all.
Today is Tuesday, August 13th, and the Yankees were taking on the White Sox in Game 2 of a 3-game set. After a brutal loss in Game 1, the Yanks turned to Nestor Cortes in Game 2 as they attempt to right the ship. My recap, your reactions coming up next. This is Pinstripe Territory.
Welcome to
Pinstripe Territory.
I'm on everything.
Just when they thought I was out.
They pull me back in.
All right. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back. Day 2 of Pinstripe Territory. Much better result than day 1. We did find out before the game that Jazz Chisholm is injured, and that's a serious topic, so we'll talk about that in a second. But first, we got to talk about Juan Soto. The hat trick tonight, first career 3-home run game. Couple of big opposite field home runs. His opposite field power is simply incredible. It's unbelievable. And then a long home run to right field. I think it's fair to say that his hand is feeling okay. Second time this week that he's had a multi-home run game. And that is now 5 home runs in his last 3 games. Those are Aaron Judge numbers. He's got 33 home runs on the season. He's 2 away from his career high, 35 last year. Look, I don't know if the Yankees are going to re-sign him. I think they're going to be interested in re-signing him. But this guy is going to get a massive contract from somebody. One thing that's been kind of unnoticed about Juan Soto this year is that he's become a great right fielder, too. He's in the 74th percentile in the league in fielding value. I'm going to pull up his stat. Look at his spray chart. Line-to-line power. He hits line drives line to line. He hits home runs line to line. He'll take you up the middle, 450. And don't forget, he walks all the time. Unbelievable offensive player. I have no doubt if he's going to get $50 million, but the question is whether or not he'll get $60 million. I don't know if there's going to be a bidding war between Cohen and Steinbrenner. If there is, Cohen has deeper pockets, and he's shown that he's not afraid to spend. And the Mets are going to have less money committed in salary than the Yankees do. The Yankees are still paying Stanton for a few more years. They still got LeMahieu for a couple more years. Garrett Cole has 4 years of $36 million per year. Not to mention Aaron Judge pulling down $40 million a year. Let me turn my Do Not Disturb on because people are texting me just hearing that Soto hit 3 home runs tonight. But let's talk a little bit about Jazz before we get to the recap. Jazz Chisholm injured his UCL. It's almost supernatural how bad the Yankees' luck has been with trades. Whether it's trading for Benintendi and then he has the hamate bone fracture. Frankie Montas, they get him and his shoulder goes downhill. Scott Effross with the elbow. He may never recover. He's still toiling away in the minor leagues. Sounds like he might have lost something. Now Jazz Chisholm with the UCL. We don't know how serious it is, but it's got to be at least borderline surgery because they have not ruled out surgery and they're having it looked at by multiple doctors. So there's at least some ambiguity there. I mentioned last night that I wasn't feeling super optimistic about the Jazz injury because Gleyber Torres was injured on a very similar play when he was in the minor leagues, and he ended up getting UCL surgery. So, look, I'm not super optimistic. We saw him flexing that elbow, and just from the way that the play developed, you knew that it could only be the shoulder or the elbow, and neither of those things are good. So the UCL, for the newbies out there, for the baseball newbies, is the ulnar collateral ligament. It's the ligament that pitchers often tear that requires Tommy John surgery. Now, luckily, it's not in his throwing hand or his throwing arm, so he might be able to come back quicker if he does have surgery. He might be able to get one of those brace procedures, but if he has surgery, he's going to miss the rest of the year. He might be able to play through it. Some guys have played through it. But the Yankees have had a ton of players, position players, get this UCL injury in recent years. Not only Gleyber Torres when he was in the minor leagues, as the cat walks by here, interrupting the broadcast, but we had Aaron Hicks, Didi Gregorius, most recently Jason Dominguez last September. He was back by midseason. I think best case scenario, if it's, the non-throwing elbow and he has the brace procedure, you probably get him back early next year. But, we got to see if he's a quick healer. He's been injured a lot throughout his career. If you look at the back of his baseball card, he's never really played a full season. And sometimes that's a product of a guy who plays so hard and is so athletic that you can make reckless decisions. And going head first into home, kind of a reckless play. Again, they didn't say that surgery was a definite outcome. They just said that it's not being ruled out. So there's a chance that he gets, PRP injection, platelet-rich plasma, I think it is. Maybe a few weeks off, gets back on the field. That's what happened to Masahiro Tanaka when he had a partial UCL tear in his pitching arm. But I'm not optimistic. Let's talk a little bit about replacements, then we'll get to Nestor and his night. So there's a few candidates to replace Jazz Chisholm. Boone said it could be a mix of Oswaldo Cabrera, DJ LeMahieu, possibly Oswald Peraza, who's been red hot in AAA and plays a good third base. I think if they're ever going to give him a chance, now could be the time. DJ is unquestionably a great defender, but you just don't know if he's going to hit. Oswaldo has been stinging the ball pretty well. Not quite as good defensively as DJ or Peraza, but he's solid. And he's been swinging the bat pretty well. He had some excellent contact tonight. You have to wonder if they would consider Yorbit Vivas, who's been playing some third base in AAA. But I don't know if now's the time to give somebody their growing pains at the major league level. A pennant race isn't that time. Time would have been, a month ago. So if I had to guess, I think you'll see DJ against lefties. I think you'll see Oswaldo Cabrera against righties. If Jazz has to go in the IL, they might call up somebody who's not even an infielder. We'll see. Or they might call up Peraza and sit him like they usually do. I think that's a good possibility. So stay tuned. We'll see how it shakes out. Outstanding performance tonight from Nestor Cortez. I mentioned last night that the White Sox would be the type of team that Nestor could match up pretty well against. Despite the 12 runs last night, they're a weak offense. And tonight he was able to keep them totally neutralized with his off-speed stuff. This might have been the best changeup that he's had all year. It was ridiculous. It was breaking like a splitter. 6 Ks in his first 3 innings, 11 up, 11 down to begin the game. He went 7 shutout innings, just 3 hits allowed, no walks, 9 strikeouts, and he gave the overworked bullpen a little bit of a rest, and they needed it because getting those final 6 outs was tough. But nice job by Nestor Cortez. T85 says that the Yankees tend to play down to their competition. You're not wrong. You are not wrong. Alex says that Nestor was fantastic. And David Smith makes the point that the Orioles lost and the Yankees are now back in first place. All right. Good news. Yeah, I saw they were getting beat up today. So let's go ahead and get to the recap.
All right, let's go. Let's get it going.
Both teams were quiet early. Nestor was very sharp out of the gate. Top 3, Juan Soto with his first home run of the night, and Oppo Taco.
There it goes. That ball is high. It is far. It is gone. Home run for Juan Soto.
94 low and away. I'm old enough to remember when that was a pretty decent pitch. 31st home run of the season. OPS over 1,000. MVP season if it were not for Aaron Judge. 103.9 off the bat, 360 feet, and it was his shortest home run of the night. Scoreless 3rd and 4th for Nestor, and that set things up for Juan Soto again.
His second home run of the game. He's done it again.
Second multi-home run game in the last 3 days. First 2 of the night, both opposite field shots. And his opposite field power just might be the best I've ever seen from a normal-sized human. Aaron Judge has crazy opposite field power, but a lot of that is just because he's a giant monster of a human being. Soto's a normal-sized baseball player. I think he's like 6'2", 6'3", about 225. But his swing is so good that he's able to just let the ball travel deep into the zone and take his normal swing and get the backspin on it. 110.4 off the bat, 416 feet. And the further we get into this season and the more crazy stuff he does, the more I think that it really could be 1-2 in the MVP voting for Judge and Soto. Top 7. He was not done. This time to right field.
There it goes. That ball is high. It is far. It is gone. Home run for Juan Soto.
Never a doubt. 105 off the bat, 406 feet. No doubter into the right field seats. I'm at a loss for words. The guy is too good to describe. Third home run of the game, first time in his career that he has done that. And yes, pay that man his money.
Pay that man his money.
All right. So Nestor was done after 7 shutout innings. On a normal night, he'd be a sure thing for the belt, but not on this night. 9 strikeouts, no walks, so the command was there. He was pitching confidently. The curveball was sharp tonight. I thought that Nestor just took a huge, huge step forward. Now, keep in mind, this is the White Sox, and despite their offensive production last night, they are not a good offensive team. So, Nestor could bounce back to being, brutal next week, but tonight he got the job done. White Sox got on the board in the bottom of the 8th. Nice play by DJ LeMahieu at first base to prevent further damage. I tell you what, this is one of those nights where you needed, those heart paddles. Because, there were some moments tonight that just kept you. You don't want to lose 2 in a row to the White Sox. I'm sorry. No disrespect, White Sox fans. Your team is not good this year. And the Yankees are trying to win the American League East and trying to have the best record in the American League. And you can't have that happen if you lose to the White Sox, a team that's going to lose 120 games probably. So every time it got close, my heart was seizing up. Didn't help that I had to get a steak tonight. I couldn't resist. There's a seafood place up the street by me, and I went and I shoved about a 12-inch ribeye down my gullet, and I could feel it clogging the arteries every time that the White Sox put somebody on base. Tommy Kahnle came in to pitch in the 9th against his former team. Clay Holmes still unavailable after 44 pitches the day before. He immediately worked into a jam. Jake Cousins came in, got the first out, loaded the bases to bring up the winning run for the White Sox, but got out of it and picked up his first career save to seal the win.
Ball game over. Yankees win. Yankees win.
All right.
You're a winner.
Big win for the Yanks as they reclaim first place in the American League East by a half game. Orioles lost tonight. I see some comments in the chat, and my chat's a little frozen right now. But some people confused about the Pinstripe Territory thing. If you missed last night, if you were in a cave, we are now Pinstripe Territory. We are now part of the Foul Territory Network. It's going to give us a lot bigger reach. It's going to give us access to a lot better guests. No disrespect to, Terrence and Aiden and stuff. These guys are my buddies. But look, we're going to get some big name guests on here over the next, however long we do this, a couple years. If you watch Foul Territory, you know that they have Yankees on all the time. So I'd imagine we're going to have players at some point, writers, all that stuff. So welcome to Pinstripe Territory. As for the belt winner tonight, no surprise, there could be only one. 14th belt win of the season for Juan Soto. He gets the belt more than I did as a kid, and I was a bad kid. Great performance. The opposite field power is something that we've never seen before from a lefty. He's just outrageous. And the competitive at-bats, the constant walks, the fun presence, the smiling, the shaking your head no when a pitcher just misses, the shuffle. Juan Soto's worth every penny that they're paying him this year. He's worth everything that they gave up to get him. I hope they can win with him this year. But if not, I just hope they bring him back. I don't know what the cost is going to be. It's going to be astronomical. Hopefully he enjoys hitting in front of Aaron Judge and getting all these pitches to hit. You're not going to get quite this many pitches to hit if you go to the Mets because they don't have Aaron Judge. So, great job for Juan Soto and the New York Yankees. All right, we got a few super chats here. Oh, really? Says, Yankees pitching is almost as bad as my White Sox. It has not been good. And sorry about your White Sox. Tough year. Louis Penafiel says, congrats on the new show. Nice logo. Same show, but different brand, different logo. I mentioned this last night. I've never felt like NYY Recaps, the name, even though I love the name, encompassed everything that we do. Because it's not just recaps of games. We have conversations. We do ranked lists. We do voicemail shows. It's really, a digital arena for Yankees fans to come and, interact with each other. The Virginian with a super chat of $1. Appreciate that, my man. Next time you can just write something and I'll read it or whatever. And then referee says, amazing you're with Foul Territory now. I've been behind the scenes with Foul Territory since last June. And I just love working with those guys. Kratz and AJ and Scott and Cameron Maben, Todd Frazier. They're just all amazing. Alana Rizzo with Dodgers Territory, and she's on Fair Territory. Ken Rosenthal, who I talk to all the time, just a great guy, great dude, the best dudes in the business. So I'm honored to be a part of it, and it's been a ton of fun so far. So let's go ahead and take a few comments from the gallery. I'm having this issue so far, though, that it takes the comments like a second or two after I click them to go live, so I'll try and speed these up. T85 says, the Yankees winning 96 games, barring another slump. We'll see. I mean, there's 6 weeks left. They're at 71. So they would need to win 25. I could see that. I could see them getting a couple more. They don't have a very tough schedule down the stretch here, but the pitching has been a little suspect. So, yeah, I could see 95, 96. I could also see 98. I could also see 93. Really depends on what kind of pitching you get. At the end of the day in baseball, it's almost always about pitching. Val in NY says, these nail-biter ninth innings are going to shave years off of their life. I agree with you, man. I feel like every ninth inning lately has been arena baseball. Anything could happen. Whether it's Fenway, whether it's, against the Blue Jays, all of these games have been so tight. And I'm psyched they won this one because I did not want to lose 2 in a row. Frankie Baseball says, this gives Derek access to having me as a guest. All right. Frankie Baseball in London right now, having a good time. Frankie messaged me from the airport, and he said, I'm on my way to London now. I'll check in when I get there and all that. And I said, sometimes planes crash into the ocean, so maybe not. I always try and make people feel good before they get on an airplane. But, all right, let's go ahead and take some final thoughts here as the Yankees will wrap up Game 2 of this series with a win. Big night for Juan Soto. Yankees back in first place. And for the moment, they avoid the embarrassing loss to the Chicago White Sox. Thanks to all the members of this channel. Reminder, go ahead and like and subscribe. You see we're at 41,500. I can't move my arm that much. 41,577 subscribers as of right now. So tomorrow when I wake up, I want to see 41.6 or 41.7. I want to see some subs here to Pinstripe Territory. But appreciate it, everybody. And tune in tomorrow for the rubber match. Yankees will try and take 2 out of 3. Honestly, I don't know if my heart can take losing 2 out of 3. So they better do it. Or NYY Recaps and Derek will both die in the same week. But I appreciate it, ladies and gentlemen. We'll see you next time. If you enjoyed this video, please drop a like and give us a subscribe. It helps other Yankees fans find the channel. We're also on all your favorite podcast platforms and social media. Join the community, have some fun. We're here after every game. This is Pinstripe Territory.